honey, listen, there's this pen. Sean's dropping us off, and he's gonna come in the house, and you gotta hit the pen. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not coming to the house. You're gonna deal with your own shit tonight, and I'm gonna go home and get yelled at by my wife, and I'm gonna fucking leave it right there. That's it. But
damn. And this is just regular ass weed.
Just regular
just doesn't
oil weed.
Blaze a lot.
Yeah, it just doesn't blaze a lot. And you know what? On a day like that, he needs to get out. So it was fun to see them. So I had a really good weekend. And we're gonna speed through some of this stuff because we're gonna get onto his show. I've been waiting to get onto his show, talk sports. I'm a sports geek. Rob's not feeling good. He's got some shit going on at work. It's all gravy. So we really want to, I just want to touch a couple follow-ups this week. We're going to get into his stuff. Harvest Cup was this weekend. What an awesome fucking week. Dude, you got to come with us next year. It was fucking awesome.
Tell me about it.
So Harvest Cup is, it's they have a lot of judges that they judge everything from flour to oils to tinctures to creams to this to that. And they'll send product with just a number on it. So the judges don't know where it came from. And it's like, phoom. And they all judge that stuff, and they have it for a couple weeks, whatever. They get a bag, they get a judge's book, and then Friday night they have the industry party night where it's like all the people that are there as business owners. That's where you really start to connect with people. And then you have the cup on the 9th and the 10th. You could do the same thing on the 9th and the 10th. They're just a little bit more busy, but whatever. And it's just all the best people in the industry. There's some people there that some of us don't care for. It is what it is. You're going to find that in any industry, but for the majority, it was just an awesome positive night. I got to see some people that I love very much. Kevin and Maya, I told you I needed a hug. Loved it. Fico, Rob went on Saturday. Brian went and checked out some stuff on Saturday. We got to see a lot of friends, and it was just
Where was it?
It's in Worcester. So the DCU Center. And
all right, cool.
It's one of those events in Mass in the cannabis community, like, you want to go. It's just, I was just telling him on the way out, I think he might have heard me. I probably had like 15 free cannabis CBD joints. Like, try that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Probably had all these lotions.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like walking out there like, oh, Gumby. You know what I mean? It was a good time.
I gotta moisturize.
Yeah, Mary Palmer was there. DJ Stanley, love you, buddy. Jen, love you for thank you for getting us in. She's a judge, so if you have a VIP guest, they can get people in. And she was gracious enough, and she's also a team member of ours here at the Hawco and Carnell show. As an admin, I love and appreciate you very much. Yeah, you got to come out next time. It's just a very chill atmosphere.
I feel like they're always finding like interesting ways to consume weed. Was there anything that kind of like knocked your socks off?
DJ standing for Mary Palmer had this like CBD THC drink where he was just shots, and he was like, here. And I'm like, I'm good. By the way, Danny Campbell, love you too. You were there as well. And he's like, here. I'm like, all right, good. Like 10 minutes later, I was like, okay. Whatever the fuck that just was.
Just shots of THC or?
Oof. I'm like, that was some good stuff. And they're just super positive people as well. That's the one thing I did like is a lot of people up there are just there to have a good time and be positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you encounter anybody that's not, then they just shouldn't be there.
Yeah, that's probably not the good place for a dick. Right? Like
it's the wrong place to get air out real quick.
I just feel like, the smoking community as a whole, like it's just, you give and then I give, like type of,
Yeah.
Not a lot of assholes, I feel like.
No, not at all. And if you are one,
usually once you find out someone else blazes, you're kind of like, all right. Yes, now I can get to.
Yeah, it's all good. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was a good time, man. You gotta roll up with us next year. It was fucking awesome. Shout out to Big Ed River for giving joints to veterans on Veterans Day. I appreciate you from River Run Gardens. You and your pops. Love you guys. Appreciate you very much. Went and did a podcast with Adam Wasden. Where do you live?
I'm in Burlington. Not too far.
He's got a good show.
Exotic Burlington.
He's right next to Wilmington.
So, I think I saw that you were on that podcast. So, who is he, by the way?
Friend, building, doing the same thing that you and me are, doing the same stuff. Trying to figure out how he can get there. It started here, and now it's here, and he's trying to get there. He's had some really good guests on. He's had presidential hopefuls that have pulled firearms in the state capitol on. He's got a good vibe back and forth. So if anybody ever wants to moonlight on his podcast, he's willing to moonlight on yours as well. He's got some good content. Different stuff than mine, different stuff than yours. You know, I mean, one little quick tip I can give you about him is, you know, in the morning, like he'll send this whole 5-paragraph text, and the last 3 sentences is like, "Oh, you just fucked with me, you got me. You know, you were tricking me the whole time." And he just likes to fuck with your brain. I like that shit. He sucks me in every time. You know, much appreciation to you, brother. Also met that cannabis show out of the Harvest Cup. John, can't wait to talk to you about some stuff as well. Much appreciation. Token Dead was there. Jeff and Ben, and you know, they killed it this weekend as well. It was just way too many good people doing good stuff. I actually fucked up hard, okay? So my mental issues. So I'm like, Maya,
you're
Kevin,
pointing to your eyes. Does that happen through there?
It's everywhere. And I have a hoodie and a T-shirt. You know, they always come with gifts. They're good guests on the show. They show mad love. And I was like, hey, I got some stuff in the truck for you guys. Well, you know, Sean's retarded brain, I left my keys in the fucking hotel room. So we're freezing our ass off. Get all the way to the garage. I'm like, let me go up to my truck. I go to the door. Fuck.
Oh.
It's all the way back there. I was like, guys, it's a good thing we're smoking right now because you have to walk back in the frozen fucking tundra right now because I can't get in my truck. I apologize, and now I owe you a trip up to New Hampshire. So, I mean...
And then you probably had to smoke right after that because you go into something that cold that probably sobered everybody up.
Oh, for sure.
Real quick.
And I had 15 free joints ready to go, so there was no issues there. Dog's gone. Get the service dog this week. I got a bunch of stuff going on with that. Trying to outfit the house, the truck.
Getting a puppy?
Getting a fucking monster, dude. Getting a Great Dane. Try to help me walk so I can stop limping. It's been a whole thing, man. I gotta like outfit the whole house for a fucking T-Rex about to be living in my living room.
When are you gonna talk about your tattoo?
You asked me about that earlier. I discussed that on Adam's podcast. So, my tattoo on my hand is, as I discussed earlier this week, this is a whiteboard for me. You know, when I grew up earlier, when I was younger, I was raised by a good family. You know what I mean? Like, they always taught me to do the right thing. Never thought I'd have tattoos. My first tattoo, actually, was like a variation of that, and it was just no hat, no shading. I woke up one morning, and I was like this. I was that guy that went, ah! I got fucked up. I got a tattoo on my forearm.
Damn.
Shit.
How old?
17. Yep. Oh, total fuck up. I don't even have a good story about that, right? But then I joined the military. I cleaned it up. It's all good. I got tattoos on my leg. But this is a clock with a flower coming out of it with the date of my best friend's suicide. And the reason why a flower was coming out of it, because it's a broken clock. There was broken time. You know what I mean? Like, we started to argue really a lot before his suicide and stuff like that. And I wanted a family. And he went the other route. He just wanted to fucking just rage, party, drink, yell, fight, you know, fucking piss off every boss you have. And, you know, when he killed himself, I kind of went through a little spiral. And I kind of found myself after 9 months through therapy and a bunch of other shit and kind of saved myself to get to the point where I am now. Or hopefully somebody that hears this, I don't give a shit if it's one person. Hey, man, I'll call. Like, can you talk? Yeah, I'm always here. So out of a fucking tragedy and broken time came something beautiful that grew. And that literally changed. If you met me 5 years ago, you would not want to fucking talk to me, man, because I was, fuck you. You know what I mean? And that's no way to live. You know what I mean? I found a very healthy way to live through a tragedy, and that's why I do this show. I try to promote that. So I said to someone the other day, this is my whiteboard. This isn't for anybody else. It's for me. So when people see me and they judge me, I never thought I would have a hand tattoo when I grew up, you know, and I even referenced the more you know, Saturday morning cartoons. I did not think that I'd be like, you know, when I'm 40, I'm going to slap something on my hand and fuck it all up so people judge me.
I never thought I'd be tatted either, you know?
Right?
Kind of a difference. I got tatted later, like 24 was when I got my first one, but it was kind of just, you get to a point, it's like, you know, why try to keep that? Maybe I'm not the statue of David. Maybe I can put a couple ink blotches on this. Life is short, you know?
Yeah. I mean, everybody has it for a different reason. And what I do run into now is I get the looks, you know? Hey, I'm like, man, I'm fucking up here. Like, I'm a good person. You know, I go out on my way to help people on my free time on a Saturday when I don't even get paid. So I don't judge anybody, and I'm very quiet when I see people do that. I don't even get offended now. I just then try to implant my positivity on them so they're like, man, you know what? People with fucking hand tattoos aren't that bad.
Yeah. I always try to like almost act like somebody who's crazy tatted, like almost isn't. You know, it's like, yeah, no doubt. Like, you know, just dealing with it like it's not even anything. Like, yeah, in prison that was nothing, of course.
Yeah, when I got this in prison, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, I mean, it also opened up my eyes to. It's crazy now that I never thought, because I used to look at people with hand tattoos. I mean, I'll never get anything from the neck up and shit like that. But I say that, and people from the neck up that don't have a hand won't go, well, I'll never get one on the hand. I'm like, touche. I get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'd rather judge who's in here and who's up here rather than what's on my body.
Yeah. No, I'll just judge you physically.
That's okay.
No, no, I totally hear you. I think it's funny because, like, years ago when I worked at Bass Pro, like, you had to, it was funny, like, the guys with all, before I had tats, like, they had to wear, like, freaking sweatbands, like, all up their arms or whatever, cover up anything. You know, last year when I was at Oracle, I had a couple tattoos on my arms. Nobody ever said a thing to me. You know, you never would have. I feel like nowadays, to even, like, bring up the fact that someone has tattoos, it's almost, like, kind of shows that you're kind of old, like, when I'm around my family at, like, the cookout, you know, and I take my shirt off, I know everyone's going to be like, well, is that a skull? You know, like, they'll never get over it. But people that are below that, pretty much, I feel like, have. And you'll get the looks, I'm sure. But
that's what, most of the looks I've gotten is from family. They're like, is everything okay? I'm like, everything's fucking great. Hold on.
The next one's not on my face.
Great.
This isn't a Tyson.
Yeah, I'm not fucking Takeshi 6ix9ine. I'm good, okay? People gotta understand. There's a reason why it's product placement.
Like you had to.
I drive with my left hand.
The guys with all before I had
every day when I go to work. Okay, this is why you're going to work. It's product placement.
Oh,
it's a fucking daily whiteboard for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, once you get tattoos after a while, I forget I have them. I've had them so long. It's like, when I get that, I'm like, you're one of those.
Well, when someone will be like, wow, like you're really, and it's like, oh shit, I guess I am, you know?
Yeah, you know? I mean, my kids go to CCD. Leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Fuck you. I've had it. Listen, a few more minutes.
Well, that's
here.
all you can do, really, is send your kids to CCD. I mean,
that's a whole discussion my wife and I have had. I'm like, you can do that, so I'm not a hypocrite later on in life, but we're not doing the whole church thing. Long story, whatever. We're going to get into his show, so we do a little bit of fucking setup for his stuff. But last thing I got is, so I was discussing this with my wife. I don't know why this came up again. So I got expelled from Archbishop Williams High School, right here, Catholic high school. You know why I got expelled?
You talking to the principal over there and some of the. Why'd you get expelled?
Stephanie Coughlin, and I like throwing out names. Stephanie Coughlin from Quincy and Shannon Bagwin. Fuck you. Okay? My parents were in the middle of a divorce, and I was in French class, Mrs. Armstrong, so this ties into Mrs. Armstrong was my wife's neighbor. I didn't know this until
we got a lot of names out of the gate. I like it.
I don't give a shit.
I like it.
Drop
this
shit
is
like
a
it's
vivid. Let's go.
Why bullshit? And I was in French class, and they were sitting 2 rows behind me, and Stephanie passed a note to Shanna. Oh my God, Sean has weed in his locker. Mrs. Armstrong's a savage in her class. And she was like, saw the note, kept teaching class, grabbed it, kept teaching class, went up to the board, did a problem. Next thing I know, in the next 10 minutes, the dean's knocking on the door. Well, because the note said Sean has weed in his locker, Mrs. Armstrong fucking read it. And then within 30 minutes, my father was beating the fuck out of me in the Holiday Inn parking lot on 95, and you know what I did like a good young man?
Was this before or after they told it?
This was after. So it was the end of the year. Him and my parents are getting divorced. They're fighting about all kinds of fucking money. As an adult now, I get it. So he whoops my ass, right? Cops come, Holiday Inn, fucking, they called. Like, he just beat the shit out of his son. They cuffed my dad. You know, my fucking nose is bleeding, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, we know your father just hit you. And in my head, I'm going, look what I just did to him. I caused him that much more shit. I was like, I fell out of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Did my dad a solid like any fucking strong young man should do back in the day, right? I fucked up, own it. And they're like, no, you didn't. They separate us for 20 minutes. I just kept telling them. I fell out of the car.
Oh, I'm sure I would have been way too afraid of my dad to ever.
They uncuffed my dad, put me back in the car. There's 5 cops as we pull away. He doesn't say shit, drops me off to my mom's house, right? Because I was sharing time between them at the same time. And he drives me in the parking lot, and he's like, love you. I'm
my
like,
boy.
People, if you have a good parent that teaches you a hard life lesson, I don't think a lot of people do that to their kids nowadays. We live in a different world. But I appreciate what my dad did. He taught me a life lesson that day, and I will always be apologetic for putting him in that spot because that's exactly what I did. With that said...
Sorry, Pops.
I am fucking super excited, and we're going to share this episode, too, on his page, our page. This episode and his, I have been waiting, you can ask Brian, waiting to sit here and talk sports with you for an hour because I'm a sports junkie, and we're going to do a little bit of fucking build-up.
I know a little bit about sports. We talk a teensy bit about sports on our pro. Yeah, if you're a nerd at sports like he was talking about, yeah, give us a tune. We'll be talking it up.
What's the number be?
617-702-2542. Call in with your salty takes and your weird statoids and factoids.
Call in with your hate. Just send it.
Absolutely. Whiner line. Let's go.
Yeah. So tune in. We're going to go on at 8. Got a little bit of build-up. Thank you very much for fitting in when Rob had his show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I would like to have you do this a couple more moving forward.
Certainly.
And we will be back on next week. We got some stuff coming up. I would like to shout out Howie Burns coming on December 3rd, I believe. December 2nd, December 3rd. That's a Tuesday. They're going to be doing an acoustic set. We got a couple other guests coming in. And thank you for tuning in. We will be back next week. And we will see you next Tuesday.
Time for you.